Hello there, sword friends. Today I have a box, and it's got a sword in it. It's a special box, though any box with a sword in it is special in my mind. This one, though, is from Darksword Armory, as the label may imply on it, and it was sent to me for the purposes of review by Darksword Armory. Someone over there reached out and asked if I would like to review a Type 18C prototype, and so I thought that fit in pretty well, given that I've reviewed 3 of them now, and I've rambled on anyway about this type of sword for about the last month or so. So I was happy to review another example and compare it and contrast it to the other 3 bits and bobs that I happen to have around with me. Anyway, this video is just going to be first impressions. I'm going to open the box, I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to give you kind of my general thoughts about it. But I'm going to make another review later, a follow-up one, an actual review where I test the sword and put it through its paces. And since this was sent to me for the purposes of review and I don't have to send it back, that means I'm going to break it. I'm going to whack it into stuff until it doesn't do stuff anymore. Anyway, that's my plan for now, though. I'm going to open this up and we'll see how, I don't know, see some first impressions. Now, I should also note something very important here, and that is that this is a prototype. So, kind of full disclaimer, it was sent to me from Darksword Armory. I didn't pay for it. They reached out. It's a review sample and all of that, but more than that, it's a prototype, so it may not be exactly what the finished product will be in terms of overall look. I've also been told it may have been used a little bit, so if there are some blemishes, scratches, things like that, know that if you were to buy one new, you should not expect that. I got a card. If I were polite, I would read this first. Alright. Inside we have sword. Pretty well wrapped up. To me, this represents overall pretty efficient packaging. I'm guessing that this is not exactly how you would expect to receive one were you to buy one new, but I mean overall, simple wrapping. It's doing the job of keeping it clean from my house, to my house from Canada, where these are manufactured. The other thing I suppose to note, simple pieces. It's basically not some big elaborate box that costs a bunch of money. It's simple, practical, it does the job. I should also note it's frickin' freezing outside right now. These are manufactured in Canada, which is known to be cold. I live in Minnesota. It's like 12 degrees below zero today in Fahrenheit, and the way the U.S. measures things, and so the stuff has held up. It hasn't broken. It's done the job. It stayed dry despite it being wet and, well, not wet, it's frozen, but mushy and slushy and salty and gross. Everything seems to have arrived in good order, so there we go. Anyway, I will actually open the scabbard first. And we will take off this condom that it's in. Can Matt find his way out of that paper bag? We will find out. Okay. So this seems pretty on par with Darksword Armory's Scabbards. It doesn't have a particularly odorous smell. I can see there's a belt system that I'm going to have trouble figuring out how to operate. But overall, I mean, it's clean. It hasn't been used significantly. I like that there's little embellishments. The stitching looks decent, and the leather appears of an acceptable quality. I don't know exactly how much this sword is supposed to retail for, but I'll find that out certainly before the review. It's got a metal chape at the end of it that seems pointy and neat. But I mean, overall, a little bedazzlement on the scabbard. Not a whole lot, but it's handsome for what it is. Simple wheel pommel with a peen block on the end here. Actually seems reasonably well done. The grip seems nice. There aren't a lot of pieces. You know, there's some blemishes on the grip, and some of the thread looks like it's not perfectly placed, but not bad. I do feel a slight ledge on the grip here, but I don't know if that will be problematic or not. I guess we'll find out when I beat the shit out of it. Handy dandy. Okay. Now this is a slightly different take on the Alexandria pommel. It looks like it is basically rectangular. It's a square, and so most of them I think have been hexagons or six-sided shapes on the cross guard. So this is, I guess, at a distance similar to the Alexandria shape, but it's not as wide, and it's a square instead of the others. So the guard has a little different dimension, but it's still handsome, and my fingers don't seem to bite into it. This also feels not bad. I mean, even in one hand, this this is pretty loosey-goosey, light and fun. No, I might see why. Okay, well, we've got a little sticky bit here. Darksword Armory is hopefully going to see how people might open up their boxes. I might be doing this the dumbest way possible. Maybe what's in that card is directions. It says, here's how you can take the stuff off without hurting yourself. But not today, Darksword. I'll hurt myself if I want to. Can't fix stupid. Okay, well, that's not bad feeling. It's light, nimble. I don't know how much it weighs, but I'd have to say it feels pretty light in the hand. I feel like I have some tip control, but it certainly feels like it's going to be able to chop. And what I notice as I look down this blade is it almost looks like parts of it are hollow ground. Let's see if I can show that to you. I don't know if it's going to come through super well here. Come on. You can see my hand. It's also mirror polished, so that's pretty. You can see I'm in need of a manicure. Is there a way I can? Well, maybe if I had something as handy as the thing they sent me. So there you go. You might be able to see kind of that little pocket that's sitting there. It looks like it is hollow ground, and that may certainly contribute to why it feels as light in the hand as it does. Surface ripples don't seem too significant. I mean, there's enough of them. They wiggle and waggle around. It was mentioned that there's a scratch on the cross guard. I don't know, I suppose I see some blemishes, but this is not bad, and has certainly the shape of a type 18C. But we will find out. This one is just a little different because it appears hollow ground, and that's not something that I've seen on the other swords that I have played with in this realm. It does not feel particularly sharp. I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to get whacked with it, but not super sharp. So this might be another candidate, since I'm going to break it anyway, for me dicking around with the edge a little bit. But it still looks like it will have an edge geometry that would support sharpening if you are so inclined and capable of doing it. You may have seen in previous reviews or ramblings my attempts at sharpening. It's quite poor. But the hollow ground, I suppose, is the more interesting piece to me. It's got a more pronounced central ridge a little further up the blade, and it kind of feels like the hollow grinding tapers off towards the tip section, but it's present enough kind of where you would want to cut with this blade, which is usually, I think, somewhere around about here. This feels hollow ground. You don't usually cut with just the tip section. But yeah, handsome, actually surprisingly agile feeling sword. I suppose most of the other type 18C blades that have been mass manufactured, I suppose I have the Ronin, which feels a little bit kind of heavy-handed, if you will. It's got a lot of blade presence, but it has the profile, but the point of balance feels off. This feels, point of balance wise, like it's probably in about the right area. The point of balance, yeah, is supposed to be a little closer to the hilt in these blades, but it looks like it's achieved rather than a pronounced distal taper by having a hollow grind in it. And how that will impact cutting, or how that will impact performance and weight, I guess I don't know. I'm not going to take any of those measurements yet. I have to do a full review on it. But I will say this is a handsome blade. I suppose it will all depend on how much something like this costs. I think they told me what it was, but I don't remember because I'm not a good reviewer. Anyway, suffice to say, on initial impression, it appears quite clean. If this is their go-round for a prototype, then I suppose if it's more refined than what I'm holding here is what the end result, then it seems like a handsome sword, and I'm kind of surprised by the hollow ground. I don't know. I guess I want to whack things with it right now to see how that impacts the feeling of things. Inherently, that's a more complicated and hard thing to do than a simple distal taper. Well, at least I suspect it is. It's often a more expensive feature, so that seems interesting. The scabbard seems to hold the leather. It seems like that's the little ties here. Doesn't seem to be rattling relatively significantly. It's got a little resistance on the draw, but not a lot. Yeah. Controllable, fun. I'm going to look forward to whacking this into things. This is real pretty. I'm going to feel sad breaking it. Not sad enough to not do it, of course, but yeah, it's a handsome sword. Oh my gosh, like an excited kid at Christmas, I forgot the card. I should open it. What's in the box? I've got a fancy business card. I wish my business card had swords on it. I wish I had a business card, actually. Actually, I don't wish I had a business card. Still, I like that business card. I got some stickers. Darksword Armory. I don't know where I'm going to put something like that, but if you wanted to bedazzle something, looks like you could put it in your car window and say, hey, break into my car. There's swords in here. $100 off your next order if you submit a review on YouTube. Well, I do plan on doing that, but I don't plan on making any orders because, well, I don't know, that is actually kind of a cool sword. Anyway, it looks like you are encouraging competition, Darksword Armory, which actually I also encourage. If you are so inclined, it looks like there's a coupon here for $100 off if you submit your YouTube review, which is cool. I encourage all fellow sword friends to make YouTube videos, share your opinions and thoughts. The more information that's out there, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Look at this. Instructions on how to tie the belt. It probably isn't going to help that it's upside down, but it looks like there are instructions about how you put your pants on. That's important for people like me. I will see if I can follow that. We have another coupon. This one has a code on it, though, so I don't think I'll show it to you, but it does basically say $25 off your next order. Well, anyway, hopefully this little first look and first impressions has been interesting. If you have any thing you would like to see in particular, measurement you would like me to take for the review, please let me know in the commentary down below. And if it's a feasible test for me to do, bear in mind testing is it's a very kind word to use for what I do. I whack it into things and bring you along for the journey. It's not really scientific by any stretch of the imagination, but it does give me a chance to ramble on more about the sword. Anyway, if there is a thing you would like me to do, cut, check, or some such thing with the sword, and it's something I'm capable of doing, throw it in the commentary down below, and I will be happy to see if I can accommodate the request. Anyway, that's about all I got for you. For now, anyway, in the coming months, I will use this sword, whack it into various snowmen and such. So look forward to that. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. As always, cheers, and thank you for watching.